Audience, you are in for a treat because now we are at our featured presentation. So this year, we had over 100 poets slam through our competitions for the chance to qualify to be on the Right About Now National Slam team. And tonight, we have those top 5 poets who are on the team. And they're gonna share some poems that they've been working on all summer for you. So the left side, we're building energy. We're building energy. Right side, we're building energy. We're building energy. The entire audience, we're making noise. We're welcoming up the 2018 National Poetry Slam team for Right About Now. How y'all feeling? Y'all all right?
Hey, we appreciate y'all so much for sticking around for us. We're gonna rock out with like 6 group pieces, 2 indies. But let me just say this, right? So you've seen teams do group pieces, right? And a lot of teams have chemistry and sometimes they don't, right? This team, these people have chemistry. They help each other, they build each other up. They're an amazing group of men, and then they added a woman. You understand what I'm saying? A bitch is a noob. Don't ever get it fucking twisted. But anyway, you know, I know myself. So, but I just want to be really clear in saying that you are in for a treat. They have put in a lot of work and been through a lot of trials and had some things happen that never probably happens on any other team, but it happened with this team, and I think it helped build their character, helped build up their strength. So please give it up for Omar Ahmed. You can start clapping. Zach Blunt, RJ Wright, and your slam champion, Christopher Diaz. So I just want to make sure that y'all like keep it going. Make sure you have a lot of energy. We're gonna run through these poems just ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? And all you gotta do is just fucking clap and applaud and have a good time, bitch. That's all you gotta do. Look at your job. This shit is easy. Okay. Anyway, go ahead and start clapping, start clapping, start clapping. All the way to the stage, our very first group piece.
Check. Check.
1, 2, 1, 2.
I summoned my demon of procrastination by taking a shit on all of the clocks in my apartment, by flushing all of my calendars down the toilet, by wasting time doing everything I can besides the thing I know I need to do, like cleaning my kitchen.
Or masturbating.
Remaking my to-do list.
Masturbating.
Researching the best ways to combat procrastination. Masturbating! Because the saying makes sense. Procrastination feels good at the time, but in the end, you're just fucking yourself. And poof, the demon appears and wastes no time, summoning 2 demons I know are on the way. Lays my unwashed laundry in the shape of a pentagram, shreds my untouched to-do list and sprinkles it like salt.
Pins me down,
Paralyzed underneath my bed sheets, and summons my demons of anxiety and depression. I become so possessed until these demons feel like gods, until my joy becomes their sacrifice,
and they get full of all my empty.
Until I am buried beneath missed calls, unanswered messages,
past due deadlines, and this is how it starts.
When I procrastinate,
I get anxious, and when I get anxious,
I get angry.
first at myself, then at everyone else, so much so that I know I need to push myself away.
Until the only one I am hurting is me.
Until isolation turns into depression. But these demons, they can't be all that bad because they've always been a part of me, and I've never tried to kill them, meaning I have never tried to kill myself, as if suicide was some litmus test for taking depression seriously. So I never take it seriously.
Like, why would I seek help?
If I've convinced myself I don't have a problem, the VA calls for the 5th time, and I do not go back to the therapist because I know what she's going to say. If my brothers were the ones who actually went to war, then who am I to think my mental health a priority?
When my bedroom becomes this haunted mansion
I cannot escape from.
I remind myself how senior year Mrs. Robinson told me
I'm smart, but lazy. So this must be my laziness and can't be depression. I pray to the God of my pride who says, be grateful.
who says,
You have only been given that which you can bear. That these demons are just ghosts I have conjured in my head. That just because you feel something doesn't make it real. And it sounds like every helping hand who thought themselves my saving grace.
like every time my parents' love sounded like,
Snap out of it. Pray harder. We did not work this hard for you to act so sad. And I know that these demons are just as real as my diagnosis. But how long must they be personified before we decide to exorcise them? I mean, look at how this poem is just another form of procrastination. And hey, if the hardest part of solving a problem is identifying there is one, then surely we have done a majority of the work. Surely we deserve a break. Surely we can't be that far from fixing ourselves. Eventually. Check, check, check.
I got you. Oh dear. I'm trash. Okay. I'm a bag of pieces.
Content warning for graphic murder of Black Americans. In 1998, 3 white men dragged James Byrd Jr. by a pickup truck for 3 miles along an asphalt road. He was conscious for half of the dragging until his body hit the edge of a culvert, severing his right arm and head. In 2018, 2 white men shot and killed Elise Smith and Jerron Moreland. After dismembering their bodies, they burned them in a barrel.
This is the part where you start to get bored of my people dying, always dying. We get it. We heard it already. Listening to this is like watching blood dry or watching grass grow around tombstones. The sad thing is, if a black man had said it, you'd have stopped listening even earlier. If it was a black woman, you wouldn't have started. The more of us who speak, the less you listen.
like black souls are just good business. It's buy one, get the brothers' heads off. Product of our environment. Like his daddy a statistic. His daddy too. Ooh, you know, you got your mama's lifeless eyes, boy. You think dying's an excuse? Ever since you died, you ain't paid no bills. And they don't stop adding up. The bills or the bodies. Bodies dropping like flies. Flying from the ends of these ropes. You would think we like hanging around here. You would think we like playing with our lives. If death is a game, we killing it. Tell me. At what point do our names lose meaning? Would you still be bored if you had to wash the blood off your mother's clothes, off your father's back, off your child's face? You can't unhang us, but you can stop hanging us. Stop using hollow points to pour us full of holes. It's the same story over and over again. Parent is killed, community mourns, and the children never recover, duck and cover, or be covered by a body bag. Make it out of poverty, make it through college, make it through marriage, make it through student loans, make it through life. Until you don't, then you make it through the morgue, make it through the news, make them give excuses. What it looks like, oh, son. I say stop resisting. He for it. I care for my life. Stop talking. Don't look in their eyes. Don't speak too loud. Don't speak unless spoken to. Don't ignore them. License ready. Registration ready. Look happy. Not too happy. You trying to make us all shot. Don't be too black. Don't be too token. In fact, don't be.
To the white woman whose YouTube comment said, she is tired of every other American poem being about race or rape. I'm not sure if compassion fatigue happens because no one taught you how not to be the oppressor or because no one taught you how not to be oppressed, but your comment reminds us that no one cares about us but us. You're right. There are no new topics. Just old problems written into new pleas to a country that refused to reckon with its own sickness. We Americans, land of the free, can only keep our motto if we keep our mouths closed, and isn't that what all rapists want? Control and a silenced victim. Do you realize that someone has stopped listening to this poem because I am first black and also a woman? Black, if I'm alive still, woman, if I haven't disappeared yet, got anything anybody in the world might need except my voice, which means my body must be what's left for the taking. I'm not sure how we became treasures we can't afford to keep, but there are all kinds of women who have been raped, who hope their warm body hearts will stop beating but still got up and went to work the next day. What we know is, it's hard to comfort a girl that doesn't let on she's hurting. So praise every woman that speaks out against her rapist. Praise the ones who didn't but got their healing from the poems you are tired of hearing. How easy your life must be to only be able to sit through the happy while we try and believe the only things we need to remember about suffering is that eventually it ends. 3 times now on social media, I have personally watched a black person be murdered because the United States is still making us pay for the way we look or the guilt it feels, but a person of color's only glory, hallelujah, is as long as we didn't die then, we didn't die. Do you realize that when our mothers say, I love you, she is also saying, stay alive. Come back to me whole, in one piece, and not a hashtag or another dead nigga's death you have to watch on repeat. Us poets, whose duty is to write about the times right, because we don't know when we too will become extinct. Black ink from black poets who dare to write about all this black death instead of hiding behind everything we're feeling. How privileged your life must be, that you could be tired of hearing poems about race or rape while we the poets write about an extinguished race and violated bodies that keep being raped. It's not hard to believe you're tired. But can't you imagine how exhausted we the poets must be?
What do y'all think about the Right About Now Slam team so far? Y'all, I'm gonna pass this tip jar. This tip jar, all the money in this tip jar is gonna go to them to support them at the National Poetry Slam. If you enjoyed what you've seen so far, please put money in the tip jar and pass it around. It's gonna help them have a fun time in Chicago. Do y'all have any merch for sale?
We got one shirt.
They have Right About Now poetry shirts. If you want to look as good as them, you can go buy the shirts over there. They're $20, and we have some books. We have books for sale. How much are the books?
$8.
We got books for $8, $15, $20. Just talk to them about it. They'll let you know about it. I'm gonna pass this tip jar around, and I'm gonna let them get back to their set.
Mic check, okay. Good shit.
Right. People are bidding.
In case you haven't noticed,
We're black. So black.
I've been with a shoe,
A switch.
a hanger,
A door.
extension cord.
Cause I told you, don't touch nothing. We go to this goddamn store.
Cause you think I'm playing.
Cause I ain't one of your little friends. I'm your mama. I'm so black. I eat chicken for dinner.
And breakfast.
With waffles. I'm so black. I like my grits with sugar. Salt.
Cheese, egg, sausage, and salsa.
Salsa?
Fucking right.
I'm so black.
A game of spades might end our friendship.
Especially if you count tens as for sure books. I'm so
If
black.
you ask me Michael Jackson or Prince, I will ask.
MJ before or after Pepsi tried to assassinate him? The answer is still Prince, but there is a difference. I'm so black.
I am never late.
You're just early. CP time is the standard. I'm so black. People assume I pay child support.
Bro, do you even have any kids?
I haven't had sex a day in my life.
We're just gonna lie to all these people.
I'm so black. Whenever a black boy is gunned down, my mother calls me just to hear the melody of my breath crescendo through the phone. I'm so black.
The police sirens sound like Amazing Grace being sung at a funeral.
I'm so black. When they say all lives matter, it sounds like white fragility, like whites only water fountains, like water hoses, like attack dogs, like Reaganomics, like the war on drugs, like the cheers of a lynch mob. I'm so black.
That a cell phone
Or a book
or a pen
on my hands can all be mistaken for weapons. Yeah, I'm black. So black.
They told me I wouldn't graduate from high school, but I went and got a fucking master's.
So black. A degree does not define me. So black. I love hip hop,
R&B,
jazz,
rock and roll,
pop,
neo soul,
country.
Yes,
Niggas like country too. No, you can't say nigga if you're not black. Yes, you can be big or a little mad about it. That is your prerogative, my nigga. I'm so black. I make it possible to see the stars at night.
I'm so black I glow in the sun. I'm so black.
You wanna be me until it's time to be me. My black is not a monolith. It comes in all shapes, sizes, shades, genders, and sexualities. My black is a mother's prayer being answered. My black is a father's protection. My black is presence of all. My black is hope. My black is candy after Sunday school. My black is cornbread and collard greens, kale and cabbage. My black is savage as fuck. My black may be painful at times, but I wouldn't trade for all the privilege in the world.
Wearing the uniform has shown us
that everyone loves to throw around war as a metaphor.
but no one picks it up when asked if they've ever been there. The headline said, 2018 has been deadlier for school shootings than deployed service members.
And this is where the line blurs.
Between the classroom and the combat zone, the internet targets the article.
To put holes in the headline.
To fact check the tragedy, and the Washington Post admits that the first headline was a misfire. And this is where we recoil.
Because an empty argument is more important than an empty desk.
Yes, because sticking to your guns is more important than a freshly filled grave.
Because everyone is concerned about the comparison,
And disregards the body count.
They say that although more kids have been killed,
That it is still 40 times deadlier to serve in combat. And this is where we detonate, because it should be, because it doesn't fucking
A
matter.
combat zone
It's not the standard for school safety. My parents wouldn't let me go to public school because they feared it would kill my future.
Back then, that meant not going to college.
Today, it means not making it home. Today, it means treating school corridors like counter-strikes.
Where putting Kevlar in backpacks has become profitable.
Where AR-15s are as easily accessible as school supplies.
Where the magazines in the library aren't literary. Where PTSD has become a core subject.
Where students like soldiers,
have to study active shooter drills. We're enrolling them in school
Starts to sound like enlistment. Our country has drafted our kids into a war we keep ignoring.
And suddenly America can't bring itself to use war as a metaphor. And some of you are thinking this is still just a poem.
Just another gunshot off in the distance.
Just another trigger warning until it's up close and point blank. How American of us.
To keep distancing ourselves from destruction, even when it's on our doorstep.
To talk about the enemy as if our country didn't create it. The difference between wearing a military uniform
and a school uniform
is that we know death is something we have prepared for. For every viral video of a parent coming home from combat,
to surprise their child in a classroom,
there are countless who came home in a coffin, or dead on the inside, or never came home at all. Every school shooting proves how much we should not have in common with your kids, with our nephews, with the students I teach poetry in third period in front of everyone. Rashad yells across the classroom.
Hey, yo, mister, you ever have to fire your gun before?
And therein lies our ironic difference because I tell him no. I've never even had to worry about getting shot at.
Woman does not emerge from man's ribs, not ever. It is he who emerges from her womb. Nazar Kabani. 1. In the beginning, God told Eve she did not need a man to exist. It is he who keeps hissing to be born. It is he who only has a rib to give. It's your choice, your body to stew blood and eat your own fruit with. You have all the ribs you need, God said. This will only be balloon acting as bone. Eve said, yo, let it flow. I'll teach him how to protect my heart. Then after, man will have purpose. 2. He asked if he could touch her. This is back when man knew woman as human, more than an afterthought. Remembered when woman was more than a safe place to rest. Man, remember to ask, can I touch your holy? Eve said yes. Drowned him in all her grace. Wrote him an ocean's worth. He asked if he could put it in her mouth. She said, I'm still speaking. He said, swallow me. She said, I am still tasting myself. He said, teach me how to give birth. She said, you cannot handle the war wombs bring. I'm made of geography. I know this land, hips and thighs, how sweet it is. 3. For several months, Eve is a forest fire. Makes her body a place no one can afford. Feels like she let someone borrow her and now they never want to give her back. There's a quiet riot inside of me, Eve said. Anybody who thinks women are delicate and breakable can't remember the ways in which they were born. 4. The room smells like shit and burning sky. All she can do now is hope something else doesn't break again. God will reach in, pulling back baby, wearing her first. Man, forgetting woman will say, that's mine. Look at what the Lord has made. Then after, woman will be mispronounced. He said, it's a boy. She said, let the baby decide. He said, goddamn woman. She said, impossible, ungrateful man. It is my emotions that saved you. Without me, it's unlikely you survive. 5. You are what your mother is. Therefore, God is a woman, the beginning of everything. Look at what the Lord has made.
Check, check. Check, check. Y'all hear me?
Check.
Check, check. Get up. There you go. Thank you.
They say dreams can represent that which you repress. And I keep having this reoccurring dream where cars can talk. And the car I was with in college says,
I'm so proud of how you matured, how you value your new car, and respect your new car, and never leave the worst parts of your day in your new car.
must be nice to be your new car. And it sounded like the first woman I loved to treat like a thing. And the garbage truck said,
You asked me to bring you everything, to deliver all my goods.
then say I take up too much space. I stay in my lane because getting too close only made you avoid me. Because even though I am just an object in your rear view, I am still closer than I appear. Because my love only looks big to those who love too little. To those who think love is a package to be expected instead of the work it takes to deliver. And you say I move too slowly. I say everything in me must be handled with care. If you can't stand the potholes that come with commitment, then switch lanes already. Or maybe it was a tow truck. Because it said, you call me a villain until you need a hero. Until you feel stuck or lost or mangled in another self-fulfilling collision. Never there when I break down and only call me to pick you up. The bulldozer chimes in. Building a better path is only inconvenient to those without patience.
Sometimes construction requires the
Breakup of a foundation you once thought solid. But if you don't want to get hurt, then don't follow those who carry heavy things. And all these things I have been carrying, stop talking. And through the traffic jam of my dreams, I see my best friend, who is waiting to be more than just my girlfriend. She says, if you must speak in metaphors, fucking poets, why do you pretend like these heavy things don't haunt you? Did you only love me because I was new? Because I wasn't your first crash, even though it was you who drove it into the ground? Because you keep us clean by never letting me see these rotten things you've been holding on to. I hold on to hope that you will realize that which weighs you down affects your fuel efficiency. And though I only have so much fuel left in me, it is and always has been for the both of us.
Okay, RJ.
Yes, Zach.
So I think if there was like, I don't know, a modern day version of Jesus,
Okay.
I think he smoked a lot of marijuana.
Zach, are you high? We've talked
No,
about
but
you
hear
being
me
high,
out.
okay?
I think he smoked so much weed, he'd be okay with being like a 32-year-old version.
Wait, what? Zach, you can't say no shit like that.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a 32-year-old version, RJ. I just think it seems like a very stressful position to be in. But I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Okay, so let's say that there is this modern day version of Jesus.
Because it probably
Don't
is.
fucking interrupt me. We talked about this in practice. See, this is shit we be talking about. Okay, so I think modern day Jesus' favorite movie would be The Lion King.
Okay.
I don't have a reason for this. I just think real niggas like The Lion King.
That is very true.
I also think modern day Jesus would do all types of nigga shit, like turn water into Hennessy and then walk on it. Cause y'all know gonna fucking well, niggas ain't finna swim nowhere.
Yeah, because contrary to Fox News, modern day Jesus would be a nigga.
Which means the majority would hate him.
Or fear him, or appropriate him for profit.
Modern day Jesus would break his body every Sunday.
Or Thursday.
Or Monday night football. They would consume him like communion.
Ball out for their
Would
entertainment.
be called a son of a bitch for kneeling for black lives.
Modern day
Jesus would be the black friend all white people claim to have whenever they do something racist. But modern day Jesus would be like, bye Felicia.
Be told he's race baiting for talking about the cross he carries.
Because if we don't talk about Black Death,
then Black Death,
I mean the cross never happened.
modern day Jesus would carry this cross across a country that has never believed in him.
Just so they can make him into another bullet-riddled crucifixion, palms outstretched, nailed to pavement. The justice system would be his Judas.
And he'd still call a friend.
Still call it when there is no other option. Hoping in spite of it all, forgiving in spite of it all, loving in spite of it all. And ain't much changed since ancient Jesus.
Just another New Testament, another set of laws they want us to worship like scripture.
But modern day Jesus would say, I did not come to destroy the law or the scripture, but to fulfill its purpose.
And my death has always been its purpose. to make martyrs out of black bodies has always been its purpose.
To spill black blood into a dead sea of cognitive dissonance has
Always been its purpose. Facebook is the new Calvary.
What the world watches us die
On repeat, I have trouble navigating the purpose of this. Trouble not leading to my own understanding.
Modern day just says, bro, relax. Why you ain't got no faith? I died so that you could live, so that y'all could be saved.
But they murdered you in front of your mother, with your heavenly Father watching. And you're God's favorite. What makes you think the rest of us stand a chance?
That was the 2018 Right About Now National Poetry Slam team. We got Ebony, the Gully Princess, Omar Ahmed, RJ Wright, Christopher Diaz, and Zach Blunt. And they're going next week to represent us in this entire city, and we're so proud of them. Give it up for them one more time. And I encourage you, go talk to them, tell them good luck, give them a hug if they're cool with that. I don't know, dap some people, high fives. They like that stuff. Thank you all so much for coming. This is the end of our show. You don't have to go home because it's a bar. But we do ask, if you have trash, please help out the bar staff and throw it away. If you have glasses, please take it out to the back. Tip Nadine if you're not from Houston. Customary tips are about 50% here. That concludes our show. We will be back again next week with an open mic. Thank you all so much for coming.